Hey y'all, welcome to our channel, All Things Cam and
Hola.
Kay.
How y'all doing today?
How you doing today?
Girl, I am doing.
Okay, we'll take that. So, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Find Your Part. You know where we're going from here.
So don't play.
Right. My Chronicles!
Chronicles! Chronicles!
Chronicles!
Chronicles! Whoa, whoa.
All right, y'all. Okay, so we kind of late on this, but I just saw it like the other day because we asked that you all either email us at allthingskamake@gmail.com or you can put in the comments something that you want us to talk about. So we saw a comment and she wanted us to talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness can be a very difficult, emotional thing to do. A lot of people, either when it's dealing with somebody else or themselves, find it hard to forgive. And we know that, we've all heard that forgiveness is more so for you than the other person.
Yeah.
Because we know that like stress and all kind of stuff like that, it can manifest in your body. It can cause different illnesses and all of that type of things. And harboring unforgiveness towards people, towards yourself, or whatever,
or a situation.
Situation could be detrimental.
Yeah.
What was like one of the hardest things that you had to forgive someone of or yourself that you don't mind sharing?
I think one of the hardest things I had to do was forgive myself for not forgiving someone. And I say that because you grow up with your parents, your people around you, and they're like, "Oh, forgive," and it sounds so easy.
Yeah.
And when you read, the Bible and different things, it just makes it sound so easy. But in real life, it's not that easy because you get caught up in your feelings, your emotions. You may have invested time in a person or a situation, and then your expectations are you're disappointed. So I think more than anything, it's hard to forgive because you're disappointed. You talk to people and you make promises to each other. You say what you're going to do. You make all these plans, and then the other person reneges on it, or a situation falls through, and you're hurt. So your unforgiveness just doesn't come from out of the air. It comes from a place deep within you, and I think a lot of times it's because of disappointment.
I agree. I agree that disappointment of what could have been, disappointment of what like didn't happen or what happened plays a big part. Because I know, like for myself, like two instances, like I know I shared on this channel that not everybody know, but people knew that I was engaged and gave this person like a second chance. We tried to do things again. Known each other since we were like teenagers in high school, and I had to really like forgive him for like doing stuff and like wasting my time and this and that. And I can honestly say that I forgave him. I told him like I forgive you, because I know that not forgiving would stop my blessings from coming. It would stop my good thing from coming along into my life or whatever.
And I think
so. I totally, like, genuinely, like, forgive him and wish nothing but the best for him. Like, I really do. I hope he will be happy, you know, with.
And I hope life treats you kind. And I hope you have all.
I think that's the wrong song. Though.
I gotta do the hand.
That's
just that part. We ain't talking about the always love you.
Right.
But
then like another, because that's like I don't have to deal with that person. You know, again, it's like, you know, forgive you, be blessed, have a great life, and I really do believe that and want that for him. But on the other hand, you know, I have like my father, somebody who is in my life, you know, for the rest of his life, you know. So I had to like really forgive him for not being there like he should have and stuff like that. So and when you do forgive, it's such a peace, such an overwhelming peace that comes over you. It's like, you know, I'm good.
I think it's so important that you do forgive, but I also think that forgiveness is for you, because you may not ever get that apology from the other person. And I think that's the hardest thing, is that we're like, oh, they should apologize, and you're waiting on it, and you will be waiting forever
for that closure,
for closure. And sometimes you're not going to get closure. You have to choose to get closure for yourself, and the only way you can get closure for yourself is to forgive that other person, and you let it go, and you release it, and you give it to the higher power, God, and let him, and say, you know, like you said, I wish you well. I'm pretty transparent. I was married for 10 years, and I got married young, and I loved him. You know, he was my husband. I loved him. We had a child together, all of that, and he made promises, and he did things, and I will be honest, he did one thing that I knew of, but that one thing made me believe that everything else was a lie. So I had a really hard time forgiving him, because, you know, sometimes people, you know, we live in a world now, people are like, oh, well, you should just forgive him because, you know, you're being unrealistic. I don't believe that when you make pledges, or you promise vows or to each other, that it's unrealistic, because that's the whole point of communication. If you feel like something changed, talk to me, say something. But if you don't communicate to me that maybe you're not happy, maybe you're thinking about this, or you think that we're just doing the same things over and over, if you don't communicate, well, baby, let's try something different, let's, you know, keep our spark alive, or whatever. If you don't communicate these things, we don't know. He doesn't know, she doesn't know. So I think a lot of times, again, it's the disappointment, because I was married, and I wanted for years, I wanted him, and I held on to it. I needed for him to say he was sorry. And after I started doing some soul searching and stopped saying everything was his fault, it was ultimately his fault, because of the decisions that he made affected me and made me lose trust in him, which caused us to go down that path of divorce. But the thing was, I wanted him to apologize. I needed him. And what I realized now, I was giving him the power to control my life. He went on about his business, doing whatever he was doing, and I was pining like, oh my God, I need him to apologize. Just admit it. And in that, I was keeping myself in bondage. And then after I had gone to counseling and talked to some wise people, I found that the problem was not with him. The problem was with me. And that I needed to forgive him, because if I did not forgive him, I could never move on. I was keeping myself in a prison of negative emotions and hurt and pain, which was oozing out into other parts of my life, and other people did not deserve it, and I needed to forgive him in order to move on. So one day we were on the phone talking about our child, and I told him, I said, I forgive you. And I think it surprised him. I said, I forgive you, because the only thing you did was hurt my feelings. And I say that to say feelings go very deep, and feelings they're beautiful. You feel things. That's why God gave us those feelings, but feelings can also destroy you. If you get caught up in a negative thought and negative behavior, those feelings can turn into something really ugly and be detrimental to you, because you won't forgive, or because you can't let it go. Sometimes you got to take time. It does take time.
Mm-hmm.
Do some soul searching. And while you're searching and trying to figure it out, you go back through your life and your path and you forgive yourself for the different things that you didn't forgive yourself for. And when you forgive yourself, it will come easier to forgive other people.
Yeah, and I think like forgiving yourself, like for me, I found that to be like the hardest.
Yeah.
Because I had to do that. It was something that I did that I'm so not like proud of in my life that I did. I never thought I would do something like that. But I did, and it took a minute for me to like really forgive myself. And I mean, God had to really like minister to me, like,
yeah, because
you repented, move on, don't do it again. You know what I'm saying? So,
because sometimes too, I know for me, I've been very judgmental at times, and I say, "Oh, I never, oh my God," and I've looked down my nose and thought about how how could they ever do that? They stupid. And then God had to show me, I'm a little stupid too. And I've done things that I'm not proud of as well. And you have to forgive yourself for that. I thought at one point that I wasn't the best parent that I could be either. But I learned that I did the best I could with what I knew. And I loved the way that I was taught love from my parents. Now, they loved me, but it was not a perfect love. And I think that sometimes we look at movies and different things and we think like, oh my God, my life is really messed up. When it's not. It's just the reality that you learn love differently than other people. And that's the reason why when you find your friends and different people, your friends and a significant other, you have to find their love language. And that simply comes from not being selfish, but being selfless and listening to other people.
So we just want to come on and just encourage whomever may need to hear this. Like if you have somebody that you need to forgive in your life, if it's, we were talking and you thought of a person or some people, go ahead and forgive them. If it's yourself, go ahead and forgive yourself. You'll be all the better for it. Okay?
Yeah. And I don't know, we usually don't we always are singing songs, but one song that really has helped, that ministered to me is a song by Kevin LeVar. If you can go on YouTube, it's called A Heart That Forgives. And when I listened to that song, it kind of helped me just let it all out, give it to the Lord, and just free myself. And sometimes when I get caught up in my feelings and I'm feeling a certain type of way, I'll listen to music, different things that minister to me. Maybe I don't want to always talk about it with somebody, but I know for me, that song does it for me, where I can just go inside myself and say, Lord, I'm letting this go because I don't want this. Because you don't want to hurt people and you don't want other people to hurt you, but sometimes it's all about the way you respond. And it's about how you handle it. And everybody may not be sober-minded to be able to handle things the way you think they should, and you don't know their past and their why behind why they do the things that they do. Yeah. So extend a little grace.
All right.
A lot of grace.
So we thank you all for tuning in, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know that every time when we drop a episode that you will be alerted.
Like us.
And like us and share. And I hope you are looking at our other things like our P-Valley review if you're into that, because that's an acquired taste. Okay, it's not for everybody.
Whoo.
And then we're gonna start up All the Queen's Men season 2. They are back next Thursday.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna do recaps on that. And if you have any questions you want to ask us, anything you want us to talk about, go ahead and either put it in the comments, or you can go ahead and email us at allthingskamik@gmail.com.
And also, if you email us, you might be able to be right there in that spot in our car Chronicles.
Right.
And come on and talk about some stuff and maybe hash some things out.
All right. So we are done with this, and we will see you next week. Bye.